I'm Cindy. Our group is writing activity is about a leaflet to a topic of Easter fun. The writing activity is for the primary student. Their prior knowledge is the vocabulary item related to Easter. Also, they already know how to use question word to ask and answer the question in order to get the information they want, which are the 6 basic question word. There are 2 learning objectives for this lesson, including students should be able to locate specific information from a leaflet and understand the text structure of a leaflet. This is a lesson for teaching writing for writing. We focus on communicating for a real purpose with a theme of Easter. The final goal of the whole unit is allowing students to communicate with others with a purpose using the format of leaflet. In this lesson, we produce a purpose for students to provide Easter activity information to a new student's Tom. So students have to understand the feature and context of leaflet before they producing a new leaflet for Tom to join that Easter activity. I'm responsible for while reading part, which is teaching students on the structure of the leaflet. At first, my groupmate Timmy taught them about the prior knowledge on the Easter vocabulary to activate their schema, and another groupmate Cheryl taught them the information of leaflet using question word. The students have basic understanding on the context of the leaflet. Then I'm responsible to teach the official name of each piece of information, show them couples more example of leaflet, and ask them to notice the similarity of free leaflets with their partner. Then I ask the class with the guided question to help students to notice the key feature. After that, I elicit the key features as a summary to help them understand better. At last, provide them a controlled practice, which is a matching worksheet to ensure most students understand the test structure before move on to the consolidation part. I think my first strength is grammatical and lexical accuracy and range. I use grammatical structures and vocabulary accurately and correctly. I'm using simple present tense for the whole micro-teaching process because I think this is the most familiar tenses for all the students. Since they are very early grade of student, I mainly focus on simple and compound sentence structure, which are easy for them to listen. And I also use some connective to make them better to understand the sentence. I do not use various grammatical range, but an appropriate range that's suitable for primary free student. That make my grammar mostly error-free. Crest state 1957 state that learning language for the kid is really based on their ages. Also, students learn language not through the grammatical explanation in the lesson, but emphasize on the language by the teacher. So it is very important for teacher using the language correctly and with high proficiency. Moreover, I choose an appropriate lexical range. I use the vocabulary that most students already know, such as eye-catching, promotion, and attractive, so they can easily understand my definition on the 5 main features of the leaflet. Beckeridge, 2004, states that students are quite weak on the vocabulary development, so it's essential for a teacher to show appropriate level of vocabulary. So I think I did quite good on this criteria. For the second strength, I think it's my pronunciation, stress, and intonation. I think I did a lot better after I learned about the International Phonetic Alphabet Transcription at the school that I'm now teaching. I learned about the stress of each word when I pronounce it. Also, I will emphasize the words that are important in a sentence through stressing to ensure students focus more on those contact words to understand the sentence. Also, I will use intonation to present the emotion and also attitude. I will usually use higher pitch if students have to pay attention now. For stressing and intonation, it will make the teaching more interesting for students to absorb knowledge and increase their engagement in the lesson. Moreover, I will check on all IPA transcription in Cambridge Dictionary for all key terms for that lesson to make sure I do not have any systematical error in my pronunciation. Jeanette Johnny 2016 stated that understandable pronunciation is one of the most crucial features of language instruction. So teacher must pronounce keyword correctly in lesson. In this micro teaching, I check the pronunciation again for the 5 main features of of the leaflet. ASC English 2020 mentions that with better pronunciation, people are easy to understand people's thoughts, ideas, and also so on. Hence, I believe that correct pronunciation can definitely reduce student confusion on the content and also the learning objective of the lesson. Nevertheless, I think my first weakness is focus too much on meta language and do not provide expanding feedback in the language of interruption. In fact, when I'm teaching English in class, I over-reliance on the meta language, which may actually affect student learning in a real world. They cannot build a real-world communication strategy. Patel and Jane 2008 state that English should be taught practically and language-oriented. That's why you always ask us to focus on authentic material and text to help students in learning English, as its main purpose is to link people from all different countries. Undoubtedly, English teachers' main goal is to letting students willing to and being confident to communicate and chat in English. Overused meta language would definitely bring negative effect to this purpose. Students may get worried and anxious when they need to think about language and apply rules before they start speaking, because these are something that they are not good at, and it may cause students hate English, which make them unenthusiastic and stressful in learning it. Moreover, I think I should working on providing feedback and commenting. Except for providing positive feedback, I should also provide constructive feedback to the student for higher order thinking. I should extend their answer to help them highlight the main teaching point of the lesson. Kelson in 1979 mentioned that feedback is a tool to guide students more efficiently in attaining goal of the course. The goal of teacher is helping students to attain a whole person development. So high order thinking is important on meeting this goal. I should ask follow-up questions to let them connect their answer with the learning objective of the lesson and also the whole person development. I think my second weakness will be giving instruction to students. Since our target students are primary free students, they are still not familiar with the plain instruction. So teachers should provide more demonstration after they give instruction to students, since they are still lower grade students. It would be more understandable and clear if there is some modeling or demonstration. Sauer 2017 say that the lesson or activity will be easy, fail, and chaotic if there is unclear instruction given. Since the students do not know what they are supposed to do in that moment, this may have direct impacts on their learning and how well they can learn. So, when teachers are conducting some activity with students, teachers should have an example to add as a demonstration to show how to do that activity to the student. It will reduce the misunderstanding of the student and create an efficient learning environment. My groupmate actually did very well on the micro-teaching part. I should definitely learn on their intonation. Having higher pitch and lower pitch can really captivate student attention and make them more engaged in the class. Also, their interaction with students is also very well by providing feedback and repetition requests to create a student-centered classroom and help students to build in confidence when they are using second language to answer questions. I believe I still have a lot to improve and many skills to master in order to be a good teacher. So that's the end of my reflection on the micro teaching.